In today's video, I will show you how this one scene shows and tells you that Wu is actually a double agent and is working with MANTAH Corp. So stick around because this is a really good video. And as always, this is your spoiler warning. If you haven't seen any past seasons, please go back and watch them first because this video will contain spoilers. And if you do enjoy this video, please consider giving it a like because it does really help me out, and consider subscribing to see and hear from me again. And with that, let's get straight into the video. So hello everybody and welcome to the video. I hope you're having a great day, and a good video we've got at that, where we're going to be talking about Dr. Wu and him potentially being a double agent and actually working for MANTAH Corp. Now we've got some great evidence and proof in some scenes in season 1, believe it or not, all the way back in season 1, which now these scenes make a bit more sense. We've seen season 2 and season 3. So I really want to get into this and talk all about it. So let's get straight into it now. So what do you mean, Shadows? How could Wu be working for MANTAH Corp when he's actually working for Masrani Global? Well, let's cast our minds back to a scene in season 1 where the campers bust into a lab and they meet Eddie for the first time, and it's his birthday and he's got that birthday hat on. Well, this is the scene where we learn an awful lot about what's actually happening on the island, and because we know the events of season 2 and season 3, this makes a lot more sense now. So it's this scene where he is actually implying that Wu is a double-crossing agent as such, because what he talks about in this scene is Wu got really greedy and had master plans to create monsters, and then the shot turns and it pans to these eggs. So let's take a quick look at that scene right now.
Do you not get it? We're doomed. No one is coming to help.
But what about Dr. Wu?
Wu? Who do you think is to blame? Wu got greedy, and instead of dinosaurs, he built monsters.
So he actually says that Wu got greedy and actually built monsters, and you can see all these like little incubation pods scattered throughout the room, and they must have anywhere between 5 and 7 eggs in them, and there's a good 3 or 4 of these. And he said he created monsters, and it pans to these incubation chambers, pods, whatever we're calling them. So that would imply all them eggs are actually monsters, maybe hybrids, and you can see a good fair few of them all scattered around the walls. He then goes on to say that Masrani is actually clueless about what is going on, implying that these dinosaurs were never sanctioned by Masrani. So then my theory is that Wu was actually hired by MANTAH Corp or Biosyn to actually manufacture these dinosaurs and then sell them off to them, or was actually indeed paid to make these, because obviously Eddie actually says Wu got greedy, so that would imply that he's obviously being paid to do this. And obviously in later seasons, so in season 3, you see Wu arrive on the island to get his research. Now that could be with their mercenaries. So my theory is that Wu is actually working with MANTAH Corp and was actually double-crossing the Masrani Global Company and was using their technology to build these hybrids, which wasn't sanctioned by Masrani. Because we've got to remember, in that scene, Eddie actually says Masrani is clueless about what is actually going on, implying that they're making these dinosaurs for these other companies' corporations. And there is a good 30 or 40 of these monster eggs are in that genetics lab, which Masrani doesn't know about. So that tells me he is indeed working with or for MANTAH Corp. Eddie then goes on to say this in the next scene also.
Masrani? Tearing? They're all clueless about what's really going on here. And after everything I did for the other guys.
Other guys? What?
So you actually heard him say, after everything I did for the other guys. So what does that mean? Is that sabotage? Is that helping them get the eggs? Was he the one in season 1 who was uploading data to the MANTAH Corp drone? Because let's not forget, in season 1, we see the MANTAH Corp drone for the first time, and someone actually plugs a USB into it and sends off data. Is that Eddie? Or is that Dr. Wu? Is that Sammy? Because Sammy ends up with the exact same flash drive in season 3. So this first season is starting to make a lot more sense now and starts to tie in nicely. And these scenes specifically tie into the story arc of season 4 and season 5. So this is how we could indeed see how MANTAH Corp was on the island, why they were indeed looking for the Scorpius Rex, because that Scorpius Rex could in fact actually be their property. Was made by Dr. Wu, was commissioned by MANTAH Corp. They could have actually paid for this and never received their assets because of the events of the Indominus Rex. So that's why they could be on Isla Nublar with their drones tracking down their Scorpius Rex. And we know that to be true because the original Season 2 idea was that Mitch and Tiff were going to go to the island as hunters / captures and were going to capture the Scorpius Rex. They were actually going to be working for MANTAH Corp and were sent in to capture it and retrieve their asset. So we know that that was kinda to be true. So we know that the Scorpius Rex sounds like it was indeed their property, and that again, all this then backs up the fact that Wu was indeed paid to work for MANTAH Corp and create all these hybrids in that genetics lab. Now, was Wu also making hybrids for other companies? Because we know he goes on to Lockwood Manor in the events of Fallen Kingdom. So my theory is that obviously he was paid by MANTAH Corp and he's also been making other hybrids, dinosaurs, whatever it might be, in this secret genetics lab, which Masrani Global and Masrani himself knew nothing about. So we have some pretty strong evidence to suggest, yes, Wu is indeed a double agent, and he is the cause of everything which has happened on Nublar. The Scorpius Rex, all him. And then, as you can imagine, MANTAH Corp obviously must have sanctioned and paid for this research and this asset. They never got it. They're going to be pretty annoyed at the fact that they never received what they've paid for, hence why they were sending these drones in to get the data they needed. And then again in Season 3, Dr. Wu is being escorted onto the island with these mercenaries with weapons to get his research. That could indeed be MANTAH Corp. It could be MANTAH Corp escorting him back and saying, hey, we've paid you some money, you are going to deliver what we paid for. And that could exactly be what was going on in Season 3. And then all this then is obviously going to tie into the events of Season 4, with Wu continuing his research, because we know he then later goes on to create the IndoRaptor, which I've talked about in previous episodes, so make sure you check that out, guys. So we know he's going to go on to create other hybrids, but at the same time, what else could he be cooking up? Eddie also says in that scene in the genetics lab that no one will be coming to save them, which is actually true because the campers launch a distress beacon, it gets received and no one turns up. So my thoughts is that Eddie actually knows that there's a contingency plan, some type of secret agreement that if something goes wrong, no one is ever to go to that island, which seems to be true because Eddie does imply no one is coming. His actual words is no one is coming to save us and we're doomed. So that would tell me that he knows inside information that if something goes wrong, no one is coming to save them. And no one does. No one does come to save them. So what does that mean as well? Lots and lots of mystery which we will cover in the next few episodes on the channel. So what did you think of this theory? Do you agree with it? Did you like it? Have you got your own thoughts and theories? Please let me know in the comments below, because I read every single comment and I reply to nearly every single comment. So please let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comments below. Here are some of my favourite comments over the past few days which I'd like to share with you. So thanks to you guys for commenting. There's some great comments and I really enjoy reading them. So thank you very much. As always, guys, if you did enjoy this video, please hit that like button. It does really help me out. And don't forget to subscribe if you want to see or hear from me again, because it does really help the channel. I'd also like to thank my Patreons, YouTube members, and my Research Executive B for supporting me, especially with the ad revenue on YouTube fluctuates. It doesn't really give a stable income, and Patreon and YouTube members does really give me a stable income, so thank you very much. If you guys want to know how you can support the channel, please check the descriptions below. I'd also like to thank you personally for watching, because if you didn't watch these videos, I wouldn't be making them, so thank you very much. I also host a Discord server to talk about everything Jurassic, Camp Cretaceous and other games we play, so please feel free to join that if you are interested and over 13. I will welcome you with open arms. That's all for today's video, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks, cheers, and bye bye now.